You're listening to the G-Spot podcast with Bri
and Alex,
where we dive into personal growth, lifestyle, relationships, and everything in between.
Chill with us every Wednesday for good vibes and real talk.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the G-Spot. How are you today?
Are you asking me or?
I'm asking everyone in here.
Oh.
I'm asking everyone. The listener, how are you doing? I know you're looking hot today going to work. You're looking sexy today. You're looking sexy today, man. I'm not looking so sexy right now, but
like that cute little. Did you see that that Blue's Clues Steve meme, or like that little video he did?
Oh my god!
Just
crushed
tears. My heart. Just tears. Just give me a hug, Steve.
Steve, he was my childhood crush, by the way. I know.
No.
I know. Yes.
No.
Yep. One of them. No, you know what? My childhood crush is. It was definitely Steve for a little bit. It was Bill Nye the Science Guy.
What?
Conan O'Brien.
Okay, when you say childhood, how old were you? This were rather older men.
No.
Like teenage? Like 12? Like 10?
No, 7? I was a child. I was
Bill Nye.
It's not just me. My friend felt the same way. So
weird.
Bill Nye was hot. Johnny Depp, of course.
Yeah.
But of course, in the younger, I was still young though. I was like in elementary years. These were all elementary years. But when I was really young, yeah, Steve.
Damn. Was it the polo?
Yeah.
Was it the animated dog
hairstyle? The sweet bowl cut probably got me.
Yeah. Was it his unique drawing skills?
It was the fact that he always checked the mail, and he was a very responsible person. Mail time, he never failed to check.
It never failed.
And it was exciting.
Makes you want to wag your tail and yell mail.
Yeah. Yes. You know, I swear to God, I had the little notebook that he had. I swear someone gave it to me for Christmas or something, like from Walmart.
Every page is I love Steve.
Me,
Miss
and Steve.
Miss Steve and Blue.
Me and Steve. Oh my God.
That's too
Blue,
good.
and you did know, right? Blue was a girl dog.
A girl. Yeah.
It took me, like, I feel like when I was little, I remember going back and forth and being so confused. I was like, is Blue
because Blue is supposed to be for a boy.
Exactly. So they were challenging gender norms from back in the day.
Good for that, man.
Honestly, ahead of their time. Good job, Steve. I knew it was all his idea.
It was all him.
I know he's the genius behind the whole show.
What was I gonna say? So he posted out this this video, and like a lot of people retweeted and reposted. And at the end, he was like, "By the way, you look good. Whatever it is you're doing is working for you." I'm like, "Thanks, Steve." Your heart was pounding, right? You're all
I was like, "Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve."
That's it. We're meant to be. I love you too.
Wait, how old is he? How old is Steve right now?
Steve has got to be in his like
80s. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, shit. I bet Steve is in his late 40s, early 50s. That's my guess.
Okay.
Was he the original Steve?
He is the OG.
That's wild.
You know what? Blue's Clues was born when I was born. Like, it started in 1996. That's when I was born. I'm checking his age. I need to fact check this.
Yeah, fact check it.
Age. He is 47 years.
Dang.
Right in the middle.
Yep.
You know what? Poor Steve, though. He was like balding. And
or he shaved his head.
No, but I think he started losing his hair on the show, and he was like embarrassed. And he was like, "Oh man, like I don't want to be on camera anymore." I swear, in an interview, he said that or something.
And they didn't want to give him a decent wig.
He looks good bald, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know what happened with that hair, but you know, he can pull off the bald look. Like he looks good.
Yeah, he should have just shaved it back then. Stayed on.
Honestly. Those other guys, they're just not gonna. They can't live up.
They can't cut it.
They can't cut it. They're not gonna cut it. I'm sorry. Like they can try all they want, but Steve is it.
Steve's it. Number one in your heart for sure.
So yeah, guys, if you're feeling what we're feeling, we know the feels.
We get
and if you
it.
haven't seen the video, please go look up Steve from Blue's Clues video. You're gonna cry.
Just go on social media right now. Just go
It's
through
everywhere.
your page. It's everywhere. You'll see it. It'll pop up.
It'll warm your heart. Your cold little heart. No, I'm just kidding. It'll really brighten up your day. So
if other people, by the way, if other people out there had crushes on Steve at a very young age, let us know. I want to know who else was feeling the Steve vibe. I really want to know.
If you were feeling the Steve vibe, we vibe, okay? Me and you are best friends. Because you clearly have taste.
Oh my god.
And look at him, he's a legend. We clearly had taste.
I know.
I mean, you can't deny it.
You can't deny it.
I'm attracted to legends, you know?
Clearly.
Oh my god. Oh, by the way, fun story, guys. And TMI, but I don't care. I almost shit my pants in Ross today.
What did you say?
No, like I literally almost shit my pants. I had vegan tacos after we met today. And like some Mexican Coke.
Ooh.
And it was delicious. It was really good. We had some fried pickles as well.
Ooh,
but when I was walking through Ross, by the way, trying to find a t-shirt because Alex and I have a photo shoot coming up because we need to do our cover art, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I was searching and it hit me. And I am on my menstruals.
Oh,
and that together with tacos and coffee in the morning, by the way.
And
coffee and
Mexican
tacos
Coke.
And Mexican Coke. It was not pretty.
And the walking and the motions.
And the motion. Yeah, just moving was a task.
Did you have to go home or you totally were cool with going at Ross?
I totally went to Ross and I took a selfie in the bathroom. So y'all, if you go to my social medias, yeah, there's a selfie of me and Ross. I'm not kidding. Go to my Instagram story.
Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna do it right now. I did not
do
see
it.
This.
Do it and rate the picture from 1 to 10. I think it's pretty good.
Oh god. It's there, guys. Ross bathroom aesthetics. No filter, just Ross. This is good.
So clearly, I'm giving Ross some props. They were there for me when I needed them most. Or else I would have shit my pants. So thank you, Ross. Please let them sponsor us because of this episode.
For sure. Cross your fingers.
Cross your fingers, guys. If we can get Ross as a sponsor, hell yeah. Who would you want to sponsor us, Alex? Like top two.
Top two sponsors?
2. I have one in mind for sure.
Oh, okay. You go first. Let me get an idea.
Poopery. Poopery. Do you know what that is?
Yeah. Who doesn't?
People who have no class or taste.
People who like the smell of shit.
Poopery is just the best invention of all time, and it's like an oil spray thing to cover up like shit smell. Mm-hmm. Now look, Poopery is like just a godsend, and they have mini versions, and their commercials are great. So if they sponsored us, are you kidding me? And I have a lifetime supply of Poopery. I'd be the happiest woman alive.
This is a great endorsement. This is not even paid, by the way, guys. This is just for your own knowledge.
No, and then I'd be using the Poopery in the Ross store when you're having explosive diarrhea, and then you can use both, and then both sponsors will be like happy,
Yeah, that's
and then you do a Ross selfie, and we get paid millions of dollars
for sure.
And that's what's gonna happen. I'm manifesting it right now.
Right now, I'm thinking about it. About taking good poops
with
undercover with Poopery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
At a fine establishment like Ross. Yeah.
A very fine, high-end, classy establishment like Ross deserves our love.
I will say, I don't know who is their new buyer at Ross, but they are killing it. Like they are just behind TJ Maxx. Like whenever they did the switch up of how they decided to buy their clothes. That person's killing it. Like you're getting better for sure.
Get a raise.
Give them a raise. You deserve it.
Honestly. So kudos. Now, okay, yeah. So who would be one sponsor that you would want to sponsor this podcast?
You know what would be dope? I'm a sunglass hut or sunglass fiend.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Ray-Ban, Sunglass Hut themselves.
Oh.
So back in the day, this girl worked at Sunglass Hut for like a really long time, like 4 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a plethora of glasses. And it was just a good time, like fashion on point. I'm gonna wear glasses, like if they decide to sponsor us, like if we're lucky enough,
Mm-hmm.
I'll wear them while we do the podcast, no problem.
Oh, heck yeah! And then you do like a little selfie before and after.
Yeah, exactly. Catch me looking
I love
tight
it.
as fuck.
Does Ray-Ban have blue light glasses?
I think yeah, I think you can customize the lens for sure. I know, you know who
Oh,
does?
yeah.
Quay actually.
Quay?
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that how you say it?
No, I don't know. I was just like Quay.
Quay, and I've been pronouncing it Quay.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it right. But they
I've never heard of it.
Actually. What?
Never.
You don't wear sunglasses, do you?
I don't.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I don't know. I should though.
Where are you
I need
hiding?
to protect my eyes. Like we're in Texas. We're in like the hottest effing place.
Look, I'm not trying to sell you on sunglasses, like, you know, like do you? But at the same time, your eye health is extremely important. This is me getting motherly on you.
Okay, Mom.
You don't want glaucoma when you're like 32. Protect your eyes. It's hot as shit outside. Oh my God, get yourself a decent pair of glasses for the love of God.
Please write that down so we know what to say when they sponsor us. You heard
Quote
her, folks.
Me. Quote
guys, let's connect with someone from from Quay. Ray-Ban. We got the girl for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
For sure.
Okay, well, hey, I'll start wearing glasses. Fine.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good idea. I will. For sure do it.
I will. And so
I don't mean Target glasses either, FYI.
Target?
Don't do it. I mean, Target has some decent ones. I will say it, but
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a cheapskate. I'm a cheap bitch. Like I'm gonna. But for sunglasses, now that you mention it, I mean, no, I don't want glaucoma.
Yo, go hard on yourself. Go hard for your eyes.
Don't. I'll wear 5 pairs. Like, does that work?
No.
Does that work better? More effective?
Protection?
Yeah. Or 5 pieces of $1 glasses equals 1 Ray-Ban glass.
Look, I'm going to say this, and it's going to be cheesy. My bad. This is what happens when you buy cheap sunglasses and they're like super dark tint and you put them on. Your eyes relax and your pupils open up a little more, but they're actually not like the best for your eyes. So you're letting in the sunlight because your eyes are like now relaxed. They're tricking you into thinking it's all good, baby. It's not all good. Glaucoma, baby. Glaucoma.
Who's there? Glaucoma.
Glaucoma.
It's not all good, baby.
It's not all good, baby. It's not. Treat yourself.
Put
girl.
that on the shirt. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not all good, baby. It's glaucoma. Oh no. Oh, we feel for you if you are if you have this.
Yes, honestly,
we will pray for you. But that taking that into consideration, I mean, tomorrow I might just go get some freaking glasses.
At least go and try some on.
I will. I'll send you some pictures. I'll post some selfies.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say, let's get into what's the cue. I feel like you're just about to say
ding,
that.
Ding, 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 ding. What's the cue, Alex? What's the cue? I will tell you.
Let me know.
All right, let's see here. What's the cue, guys? Okay. What is the point in hiding nipples when most of the breast is visible? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I think about it all the time, actually.
Me too. I know. It comes up in my mind, too.
I'm like, why?
Why are we just hiding the nip? And dudes get to walk around shirtless all the time, right? Yeah, we have these lumps of fat from our chest.
Yeah.
And we can't, we have to suffocate them with these bras.
Why does it make people uncomfortable? Sorry, these gorgeous breasts and these beautiful nipples are making you uncomfortable, but fuck you.
It is so annoying. Like, and it, like it says, look, the questions, like, just the nipple, like, oh, okay, you're decent now.
Yeah.
You wear like a couple of pasties. Oh, now you're decent. We can see the whole lump of fat from your chest, but like the nipples, no. That's a curse.
I know. Or God forbid you wear like a tight shirt and maybe no bra, your nipples are hard. Jesus.
Oh, God.
Get over it, people.
It's just stupid. It's ridiculous.
Every person has them. Every person. So
literally.
My daughter, Olivia, she is going through a stage where she's like noticing body parts.
Oh, okay.
Well, she noticed mine first, obviously, and she was like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "That's a nipple, baby." And she was like, "Oh." And so she remembered it, and she'll like randomly blurt it out in the middle of the dinner table. She's like, "Mommy has nipples."
Oh my God. Yeah, children, true. Oh my God, kids are just so honest and like
I know. I have to be like, you have nipples too. So does daddy. Everyone so does grandpa. Nipples. Everybody has nipples, girl. It's okay. It's all right.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait for the day when you can just see like women mowing the lawn.
Honestly. Because, and you know what? Here's the thing with that. Because you make it normal immediately once you start doing that. Because now, right now, it's taboo. Like, what? A girl showing her nipple? Like,
a girl not wearing a bra? Oh my God.
When the hell did we start doing that? Like, no. If we all just started to just walk around shirtless all the time, it would become normal. Free the nips. Hashtag free the nips. It would become normal so fast. Or like, it would just be like, oh, like another pair of boobs. Like, sure.
Seen one, you've seen them all.
Like, what the hell? Good dudes mow their lawns shirtless all the time.
All the time.
Walk around the house all the time.
No shirt. Yeah. No problem.
It's stupid. So guys, free the nips.
Free the nips.
Do us a favor. And free the freaking nips.
Start the trend.
Please. Now, we are going to move on to one more. What's the cue?
Okay.
And this one's just a little bit longer of an answer. But this person asks, how can I cope with being rejected by a girl after asking her out? Yeah, I know. But this goes for being rejected. It's probably a youngin who asked, right? But people get rejected all the time. How would you handle it? How would you handle being rejected from from a dude, or how would you handle it personally?
I mean, I think you just have to remember that there are other people out there that you're just their flavor. They're not going to reject you. So, all right, one out of the way, not your type, or they're not your type, and that's all right. You're going to be someone else's type, and they're going to say yes. Yeah, you move on. You look forward to the next person.
Honestly, I don't know why people like to linger so much, or like to hope. Oh, maybe they're gonna like end up liking me back. Don't put your focus on it. Like, what I would say to this person is, okay, how can you cope with being rejected? You take it in. You really take a breather. You take it in, and you're like, you know what? I'm not for this person. I'm not for her. That's fine. She's going to find someone who is her match. I just happen to be not her match. And she happens to be not mine. They tend to think it's always like one-sided. It's like, oh, well, I'm not good enough. But she's also not for you either. It's a two-way thing. It's not me being totally like, oh, well, it's me. And
why do you want somebody that doesn't want you?
No. Right. Yeah, exactly. Why do you want someone who doesn't want you back? That's just doesn't make any sense. She made the decision easy for you. She said, no, I'm not interested. Easy. You don't have to linger and wonder if she's interested or not. She said so.
You know what's up.
You know what's happening in her mind. And now you can accept it.
People love the chase. Like, I think people just like in general love to chase and just be like, and they just like to be like, I bet I can change their mind. Like, I can be their type.
Honestly,
I'm
though.
guilty. I'm guilty for
Oh,
sure.
you've done it.
I've done it. I've chased.
Okay. I wonder if I have, but when I was like younger,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, I was, I guess, a little boy crazy when I was younger
I was super boy
because,
crazy.
I, and you know why? I realize now that it's because,
Steve.
because of Steve.
Bill Nye.
Those striped shirts. I don't know. No, when I was in elementary school, I was like, I was just kind of the tomboy. I didn't really dress up. I didn't take care of myself. My hair was fugly. Like I was just fugly. I was a fugly like kid. Like when I was going through
Aww.
my awkward stage in elementary, and I remember all the dudes were like specifically into like the same two girls across, like our grade.
Yeah,
And I was
right.
like, oh, I would get so like frustrated, but not really because I was friends with them, right? Even if they were my crush, but I was always just like the person who was the friend with everyone. So,
Mm-hmm.
but when I actually got interested in someone when I was a kid, I would just know that they weren't going to be interested back because I was just a tomboy, They didn't think of me that way. And so when I got older and I started like blossoming into a young, lady or whatever, and people started taking notice, I guess, and I felt more
Mm-hmm.
attraction or like
You
I
felt
was
more
more
attracted.
attractive to
Mm-hmm.
people, then I started being a little more like boy crazy, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just what happened. I know it's from that. I know it stems from that. Like, oh, people find me attractive now. Cool.
Yeah.
And you kind of just play off of that.
Yeah. That's actually, I have very similar stories. I
Hmm.
was always a boy crazy. I always had crushes. Like, I remember being in pre K, girl,
Yeah.
pre K, and being like, that little boy's a little cutie, and I would like to hold his hand. I want to play toys just with him. I like him. I like the way his little shirt,
Oh
his
my
little
god,
hair
that is
parted to the
so
side.
funny. I
Yeah.
remember this little kid. I mean, like, I was in pre-K also, right? But I wasn't interested in anyone in the class or anything.
Hmm.
But this little boy turned around. I think this was the first time like someone kissed me or something. He turned around in line and he like gave me a smooch. I don't know if it was on the lips or the cheek, and immediately my reaction was to tell the teacher. I was like,
Oh
"Miss,
my god.
he kissed me."
Hey, that's really good though. I feel like that's really good parenting.
Oh my god. Yeah, and it was just like an immediate reaction. So I didn't that was like the first thing I did.
Yeah, I would
And
have honestly. Good for your parents. Good for
I
you.
was like,
That's
ew.
unwarranted,
I
unasked. I
was
don't care who this kid is and how old he was.
honestly, I was like just ew, why did you do that? Some sassy pre-K little girl. But I was like, ew. Gross. So that was my first experience like being oh god. Yeah, I guess I don't know. My first kiss was that, I guess, but it was
Damn.
unwanted. Oh my god. But
Yeah.
that's hilarious. That's hilarious
Yeah.
though, where like all this stuff stems from that. And but when you do chase somebody
Mhm.
at the same time, like well, when you did chase someone, did it
Mhm.
work out? Had it worked out or no?
When I chased somebody, I'm trying to think of like someone specific. I was already like in my 20s, probably. I'm thinking
Oh,
of
gotcha.
something more recent where
Hmm.
they would, I mean, I feel like every girl does this where they just linger because that person gives you just a little bit
Mm,
and you keep on hoping and you keep on doing
okay.
things and you keep
Yeah,
on
it's like a
like
game.
trying. It's a game. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
eventually I just was like, God, I am so sick of playing. Like, I don't
You just
want
get tired.
to.
You're like, nah.
Yeah. And then I started
Mm-mm.
to like purposely find things about this individual that I didn't like. I was like,
Hey, that's a good way to cope.
I don't like the way he dresses. I don't like the way he talks. I don't really like his friends. I don't,
Yeah, you're like, never mind.
yeah. And then I just like
Waste
tricked
of time.
myself into thinking like, that shit's not for me. Like, he's not my type. And then I was done. I was like over it.
Yeah. See, so look, dude, whoever asked
Mhm.
this question,
Yeah.
you maybe just start making a list like, you know what? Maybe I don't like her after all because of
Yeah.
this and this and this. She's not perfect and she's not
Mhm.
clearly not for me. She's
Yeah.
clearly not for me and I'm not
Top
going to
of the
waste time
list
chasing.
doesn't think I'm cute. So that's first red
Exactly.
flag right
So
there.
yeah, and like I said, she made the decision easy for you. You say bye, okay, and then you move on. And
Hmm.
that's that. And that's
That's it.
period. That's it. That's it.
I like
So
that.
guys, yeah. So keep on trucking if you're
I
going
keep
through
on
this
keeping
too.
on.
Just
Hmm.
keep on keeping on. Just move on,
So
baby.
many other
There's so
people.
many people in the world. Oh my
Mhm.
god. the overpopulation is real. So you have plenty of people around you.
Yeah.
So that was what's the cue. We are moving on to a very interesting topic that
Yes.
has honestly relates to me and Alex quite a bit because
Mm-hmm.
we are managers. Now, this topic we want to bring up today is the concept of bitches versus bosses. Because when
Mm-hmm.
we see women in the workplace, and a lot of people think, even if it's a woman having the same attitude, same, she carries herself similar to a man, she's the one seen as bitchy,
Mm-hmm.
and not just,
Or
damn,
being
she's a badass, she's
bossy.
a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a
Yeah.
bossy or bitchy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of
Yeah.
what we want to go over today. And I believe you even found an article earlier,
Yeah.
Alex,
Yeah. So I was just
about
doing
that.
some research, looking up some stats if this was still like happening, if it was just, I mean, obviously I know it's happening, but I wanted to get some feedback. So I came across this article.
Mhm.
Um, it is by Jericho Mandy Burr. Um, she wrote a blog on girlboss.com.
Mhm.
Titled "How We Bought into the Myth of Bitchy Boss," and it kind of I'm just gonna skim it and just kind of read you like the synopsis of it. But
Mhm.
basically, it's saying that when a woman is in a leadership position, she is expected to kind of be like everything for everybody. Like,
Mm.
so she has to be like sensitive. She has to be sympathetic. She has to be all smiles. She has to be friendly. Your
Yeah.
gal
Oh,
pal,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But as a leader, she's also expected to act like one. So that means being direct, being decisive, commanding,
Mhm. You have to be perfect, in
confident.
other words.
Right?
Yeah, the
Exactly.
perfect human being.
Exactly.
Double
So
standard.
when a female boss decides to like be a fucking boss and she's direct
Mhm.
and she's decisive
Knows what she wants.
and she knows what
Mhm.
she's asking and you know what I mean? She doesn't take shit from anybody and she's being direct with you. Um
Mhm.
most of the time people are going to be like she's so bitchy.
Yeah. Oh, she's
She's
so
so
controlling.
condescending,
What
she's
the
so
hell?
controlling. Like
It's always
she
a
must
negative
she
perspective.
must be on her rag. She's too aggressive.
Oh,
Yeah, she's such a micromanager. She's too blunt. Like these are words
yeah.
that are like used to describe female
Mhm.
bosses. And it even
Mhm.
goes on to like say that if you take two employees, two females, and they're having a confrontation over a work issue or whatever, and um, then you take two men who are having the same conflict using the same language back and forth to each other,
Mhm.
oftentimes more people are going to see that the two females, that's the worst case. Like that's worse than the two men arguing
Mhm.
because then the women are considered being catty, like being bitchy towards each other. It's just like
Oof,
frowned upon.
yeah,
Like
catty man.
they're not being professional. But if two men
Right.
were to do it, it's like, oh, like they're just
Oh,
discussing
they're
and they'll
just
come
having
to
a
like
discussion.
yeah, yeah,
They're just
yeah,
coming to it.
pretty much. Hmm.
Ah, that is so annoying. And like,
I
let me just
know.
say that when I got into my soon to be previous position,
Hmm.
I was honestly nervous of all of that you mentioned because
Hmm.
first of all, it was like my first experience in like an actual workplace because before
Hmm.
that I was working mainly on my own with the CEO previously without a team. So when I started working with the team, I was so intimidated by the idea because there was a lot of men on this team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was majority men, and I know I came in a little bit before you.
Hmm.
So majority men. I was the youngest as well.
Hmm.
I was the youngest of the team, so that's double like intimidating. I was the girl, the
Hmm.
woman, and the youngest.
Hmm.
So I had a lot of trouble in the beginning finding my voice because
Hmm.
of this exact issue, the bitches versus bosses thing. I didn't want to be seen as a bitch.
Hmm.
Because as I got more comfortable in my role, I started realizing what was bad and like what looked or what processes were bad and what was, good and effective.
Hmm.
And the thing is that when people are there and who are specifically men
Mm-hmm.
and they see someone like, "Ah, you're new,
Mm-hmm.
you're younger, you're a female, and you're telling me what to do?
Mm-hmm.
What? Excuse
Yeah.
me?" And I could just hear it in their voice how they were frustrated if I suggested something sometimes
Yeah. Yes.
or, made a change and they were
Mm-hmm.
like kind of condescending towards it, which
Yeah.
intimidated me, of course.
Right.
So it's definitely a way huge issue. And I feel like it's an issue in every single workplace.
Mm-hmm.
Every single workplace, because, oh, here's a girl who knows what she wants and what she wants to see in something, but I've
Mm-hmm.
been here longer and blah, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
threatening. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, don't see it as threatening. First of all, I always say things with respect
Mm-hmm.
to the person I'm talking to. I'm never like, oh, your thing sucks. Please
You're a
fix
fuck
it.
up. Yeah.
Excuse me. No, no.
Mm-hmm.
But even if that was the case, if a guy did it, it probably wouldn't even be seen as that bad,
Yeah. There's just honestly
which is the
like,
messed up part.
it is so messed up. There's just a lot of like,
Oh,
you just
sorry
like
about the
as
dog.
like as a
Hmm.
female leader, you are just like, how do I say it? Like you're just in a tough pickle. Like you really have to put in a lot of effort, more effort, I think, than if you were a man, for sure. Like
Hmm.
I think it takes a lot of backbone. I think it takes a lot of work to lead a team, especially
Yes,
if you're a woman. Like especially because
for sure.
you have to just work harder, you have to work smarter, and you're constantly having to worry about the words you use. Like you're constantly having to think about how can I say this without having to seem
Hmm.
like a boss, and or without seeming like a bitch.
Hmm.
You're just constantly like, I find myself like carefully wording things, and
Right.
sometimes
Hmm.
I don't have like the capacity to like gently handle situations. So I'm like, hey, this is not what I asked for, or I'm expecting
Hmm.
something different, and
Hmm.
I need to give that to the client, so you need to fix
Yeah.
it. Or you mean, it's just really hard. Like I totally sympathize with female leaders. Like you really have to work your ass off to be a leader, especially in this day and age,
Mhm.
because there are still a lot more men in leadership positions than there are women.
Mhm.
Um,
Let's change that, ladies.
yeah, yeah, definitely
Like,
go for it.
yes, it's intimidating, but
Hmm.
once you get the hang of it and talking to
Hmm.
people, and if they have their opinions, they are just grumpy ass mofos. Because if
Hmm.
anyone is um, worth your time and is respectful, if anyone is worth your actual time and has respect and is a good teammate employee, they're definitely going to respect you as long as your respect is shown to them.
Right, right.
Now, like, no, you don't have to raise your voice. No, you don't have to be nitpicky. You can allow them some control. And that's the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about, is that
Hmm.
some people are seen as bitchy and bossy, and but honestly it can be seen towards a guy too, like, hey, my boss is an asshole.
Hmm.
But of course with women it's harder because it's
It
easier
happens
for
more
them to
often.
think. It is
Hmm.
so much faster for them to just click and be like, oh, well, she's just a bitch.
She's just a bitch.
Yeah, no, like, but at the same time, also, if you are being seen as a bitch in your workplace, in your environment, take a look at also what you're doing, because if the majority says this, they're misconstruing this like bitchiness with maybe you're just very passionate and you're very motivated and you want to get
Hmm.
things done. But the people around you aren't seeing it that way. They're seeing it as you're controlling, you're being like a mom to
Hmm.
us or whatever. You're like putting all this pressure.
Hmm.
So at the same time, on the other side of things, if you notice that that's the feedback that you're getting, then maybe you can just take a look inside yourself and be like,
Hmm.
do I listen to people? If yes, then okay, that's good. But you have to listen to your teammates, listen to how they work, because people
Hmm.
work differently as well. People work
Hmm.
in all sorts of different ways and they like to get things done differently. But I think as long as it's done, that's the important part, right?
Right.
So I feel like people get so stuck in their ways as well. So, like, if they're not doing it your way, but it's like a team effort. I mean, they need to know that you can trust them with what they're doing. Because if they're not sensing trust from you, then that's different. And if they give you a reason to not trust, and you're being a little more strict because you know this person has maybe like not really listened in the past or something like that, then it's justified. But overall, having an open-minded approach to like working with a team and working with your, with your boss or with your whole workplace, or if you are the boss, right? It's just that much more important as a woman. Even like, unfortunately, I have to say, like, as a woman, it is double as important to make sure you're actually not being so, like, I don't know, a toxic boss-ish.
Okay, I will say this. Yeah, toxic. So I will say this. I have had really great female bosses who have really impacted my work ethic and just like my mindset and even who I am as a woman. Um, Shout out Kristen Rubba, shout out Tina Turger.
Shouts out.
But I've also had some terrible bitchy bosses. Like there is such a thing as a female boss who is actually a bitch. Like I have had one, and it wasn't because she was surrounded by dudes. This was a mainly female.
It was a personal issue. Like she was having like
She
she just
had
was
some
not a
real
good
issues,
person.
and she was not a good leader. I don't want to bash her, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like sometimes things are not for you, and there
Like,
are
clearly
certain,
that was not
yeah, right, and there are certain ways to handle situations, and there are certain ways to lead a team, and there are certain ways not to lead a team, and
Yup.
I've dealt
Preach.
with I've dealt with a woman. I will say a woman because I've only had one terrible boss who just, the leadership position was not for her. Yeah. And so I don't really know, like, if you are working for a woman, what's like the approach to being like, hey, like, I'm not being heard. Like, you are not doing your best to lead me in the right direction, like as an employee. And I want to do my best, but we're constantly like at ends with each other. And I don't know what, like, there has to be like a more, how do you handle like this situation? Like in a, like in a, how do I say, like in a feminist way? Like, how
Like
do you
like if you're the
support them?
employee.
Like, hey, congratulations, you're a woman doing your thing, you're at the top of
Oh,
your
right.
game. Like, I want to respect you and I want to give you props. And I understand that
Mm-hmm.
you may be under a lot of pressure,
But
but big but I'm having a really hard time following your lead because I'm not feeling
right.
like I'm being led correctly. So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess just have an open conversation. Like, you
Yeah, if
just
you're the
say like,
employee, if you're
I
the
respect you, I
employee,
want to do right.
instead of the boss, you
Mhm.
can be open. Hopefully, I mean, I'm assuming they're at least open to a constructive criticism of some sort or
Mhm.
suggestions that maybe you're not feeling comfortable. Maybe you need some more training to accomplish what needs to be done. And if they're
Mhm.
open to helping you out, if they are a good leader, they're going to say yes. But also, and this is kind of going back a little bit, but the whole bitches versus bosses thing, the woman versus male thing, we need
Mhm.
to stop putting woman and man, like we need to stop labeling that and just say person. This is a
Yeah.
bad person. This is
Yeah.
a bad leader.
A
With
bad
not this
leader.
is a bitchy woman. This is a bad
Totally.
leader.
This is a bad leader.
Yeah. So I think we need to start
Yes.
changing the lingo, because then
Mhm.
that's intimidating more women of like holding positions, because they're like, well, it's because
I
I'm a
don't want to be
woman.
seen. Yeah, exactly.
But really, it's just an individual personal problem. If you're a
Mhm.
bad manager, if you're a bad boss, that has nothing to do with your gender. You're just bad at, maybe you need more training. You need more
Yeah.
practice being a leader,
Mhm.
or maybe it's just not for you.
Oh,
But that is
yeah.
a person in front of you.
Mhm.
That's not just a
Mhm.
woman. That's not just a man. It's a person,
Mhm.
right? Like, it's we don't have to put gender labels on this. Like, well, the
Right.
woman's a bitchier than the man, obviously. No, not obviously.
Mm-hmm.
A man can there are just so many moments where there's bad leadership coming from a man that I've experienced
Mm-hmm.
in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just like, no, and I never saw them as like, I just see it as bad leadership, period.
Yeah,
Bad leadership,
totally.
period. And say it that way because in your mind and in the culture that we have this bitchy thing going on,
Mm-hmm.
and we like to call people bitches. It's like, change the
Mm-hmm.
lingo, because then little girls growing up to wanting to be these leaders, they're going to be so afraid of being called that word, because that just it's such a scary word in a workplace,
Mm-hmm.
because it means like, people don't
People,
like you, people hate you,
yeah,
whatever.
people in general, they want to be liked. And some people
Mhm.
find that it's easier to lead a team if they're feared. And so I think that they put themselves in that category of, I'd rather be feared and I'd rather be a bitch than to be
Than a team player.
than a team
Mhm.
player. And I think that's a fine line to walk. And I think it takes a lot of like inner work, kind of, just to kind of find your own place and your own voice and think
Mhm.
about, what really gets a team working for you. Like
Yeah.
supporting your team members, supporting the people around you, men and women, like all roles underneath you, better versions of them, like better employees is only going to make you look better. supporting
Exactly.
supporting them and respecting them and having, letting them have a voice is only going to
Yes.
make them work better. Like they're working for you, I think
Yeah. And
like
it's a full team effort. Like, you
it's a
you
full
can't
team
always see it
effort.
as well, I'm in charge of these people. No,
Mhm.
like, you're working together towards a goal. That's also
Mhm.
the thing that I think leaders, quote unquote, can misunderstand. They're like, well,
Mhm.
I'm managing you, so I can treat whoever I want. Excuse
No,
me?
yeah.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. You have no, no. That's not it. It's not
Mm-mm.
it.
Mm-mm.
And again, never just women. It comes from both. It comes
Right.
from everybody. It's just a matter of bad leadership, period.
Mhm.
And you have to see it as you are working with this team to accomplish a project. You're going to
Mhm.
complete a goal for a client or whatever. And you're
Mhm.
working with them. You can see yourself on the same level as them. You're not above them, really. Like, okay, you
Right.
have a different position. You're coordinating the team, but the
Mhm.
team is also contributing a lot of the
Yeah.
work. They're, also
Right.
experts in their field. You have to have
Right.
respect for them. You have to have an open mind of if they have suggestions, because some people probably feel so closed off towards people who have no open mind, or just they're not open to other people's ideas for changing systems or changing a design. For example, if you're in the creative field, they're not open to changing anything because, like I said, they're stuck in their way.
Mhm.
And that sort of bad leadership, of course, it's going to turn the team against They need to know that if they have a suggestion to make something better, and maybe it's a way better idea than you have, your ego has to go out the door. Like, your ego shouldn't have a play in this. Like, it's no. If they have a better idea than you accept that they have a better idea than you.
Yeah.
And hey,
And
oh, that's great. Like, you should be proud of that,
yeah, exactly. Like,
not mad. That's the opposite that should happen.
they're better versions of them and better, like, yeah, it's only going to make you look better. Like, it's only going up your game even better. Then now you know how to handle a team and you can still be stern. You can still speak your
Yeah.
mind.
Mhm.
You can still be professional. You can still be a leader
Mhm.
and be a good boss. Like, you can do both. And
Mhm.
I think like, even, I think especially like for women who are being led by women,
Mhm.
like, I think we need to stop using the word bitchy and
Yes, just
bossy
quit the
and
word.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, all together. And I think
altogether.
just support, and if you feel like you're not being heard and it's not a good work environment, then you can speak to that, with them.
Yeah.
um
Mhm.
but I think like talking behind their back and
Yeah, that's just a toxic. That's going to
just
create a toxic work
generalize,
culture.
yeah, and just like generalizing their behavior to being bitchy. I think
Yeah,
that's where the
a
problem
human is
really
so
starts.
complex. A human is so complex. It's not just bitchiness or whatever.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have, and if you're the boss in this scenario, and like I said, if you're noticing that people are mostly against you for some reason, or I mean, there is a reason, and maybe you're not doing your job well. Maybe you're not doing your job
Mm-hmm.
correctly because you have to take a look at what you're doing. If you're doing everything right, and you even get feedback from other peers like, hey, how am I doing this? Always look to grow. Don't think that your way is always right. But once you check yourself and you're good, okay, cool. Now
Yeah.
what's happening with the team? Sometimes the team, sometimes a person might just be bitter and they just want to not like somebody. And you also have
Mm-hmm.
to accept that. Like sometimes people are going through their own stuff in their own life.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're still, they're doing the work that they're supposed to be doing and they're still putting out quality work, but maybe it's been talked about that they hate you. Like they don't like you, they're just not comfortable, whatever. Then they're still doing their job, they're not really, you know um, dropping any projects, whatever. Sometimes people, and they're allowed to have opinions. If they just don't
Right.
like you, they just don't like you. Like you can just not like somebody as well. And
Right.
people have the
Right.
freedom to not like somebody. You
Right.
don't
You're
have
not
to
going
be
to
liked
please
by
everybody.
everybody. Exactly. Your
Mm-hmm.
job isn't to be a people pleaser. It's just to
Mm-hmm.
one, be respectful, to be
Yes.
open-minded, may have
Mm-hmm.
them at least a little bit comfortable enough to come to you for questions,
Mm-hmm.
always answer questions, and feedback.
Mm-hmm.
If they want feedback, and always with respect. And if you leave that environment to the team, then it's up to them to just if they can have their own opinion of you, and people are
Right.
totally open
Entitled.
and
Yeah.
free to have their opinions. And then at
Yeah.
that point, it's not your problem.
Yeah. If
If you're
you are
doing
real,
your job, it's not your problem. And if
yes,
they see you as a bitch,
exactly.
that is their issue because they
Yeah.
clearly have something wrong with either a woman in power, maybe they're sexist,
Right.
you don't know, they have their
Right.
own issues.
They have
So
their own
that's
issues.
also the
Like,
thing.
if you know
Mhm.
that you are on top of your game and you're being a good leader and you're being a good support, like a good supporter of the employees underneath you,
Mhm.
and they're still just bad mouthing you, like, fuck it. Like, you just do you. You keep writing it out and
Mhm.
fuck everybody else's opinion. Like, you're still going to
Exactly.
be a good leader regardless of the words that they use to describe your leadership technique. Like, it's just,
Mhm.
you keep doing you. Like, if you know that you're doing good,
Mhm.
and I mean, people are going to have their opinions no matter what. You just keep doing you, like I said.
Yeah, do you as long as you are doing
Mm-hmm.
your part
Mm-hmm.
and you're self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
Self-awareness in a leader is like hello, that is key. That's number
Right.
1.
And if people are coming to you with, complaints like, hey, I'm trying to talk to you about certain things, or I've tried to give you my opinion, and it just is
Mhm.
like falling on, like it's just not clicking, or you're not really listening to me. I feel like you're not taking it serious, or I've come to you with certain complaints and it's just not being heard, or I'm being met with, um, you being condescending or you being rude. Is there a way that we can kind of figure this out, you and I? Then I think
Yeah.
take a step back, drop your ego out the door, and
Mhm.
listen to what other people are saying, and maybe there is some stuff you have to work on, like as a leader, and that's okay. Like,
Mhm. For sure.
you're human, you're not going to be perfect, you have shit to learn, everybody has shit to learn.
Everybody, every single day, there's
Right.
something to learn and a way to
Right.
grow.
Mm-hmm.
If you hate your job and maybe that's why you're being a shitty leader, please leave the job and don't
Yeah.
like don't make the
Yeah.
team suffer either because you have to
Mm-mm.
be self-aware enough. If you hate your job, you should not be in a leadership position. Period.
Yeah. Honestly.
Don't, because then you are creating a toxic work environment. I don't care who you are. I don't care what gender you are. Like you are creating a toxic work environment if you're acting on these behaviors. Then yeah,
Exactly.
that you're going to create that toxicity in the workplace that no one wants to deal with, no one likes, and it's going to make everyone miserable. If
Mm-hmm.
you're miserable, because that will feed off, that will everyone will feed off of each other's negativity at that point and gossip and blah, 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 blah. Like, no, it's such bull. If you really do hate your job, like, respect yourself enough to just get up and leave.
Right.
Before making everyone else miserable and suffering. Because there's so many stories, and especially in like retail jobs and stuff, where I hear people complaining about their managers, and it's just like, and you know, any gender, any leader of any kind working in a very stressful environment. And but hello, I mean, they are making these workers miserable. Every single day, and it's like, you need to make the world a better place by making yourself happier as a leader and as a person, as a person. And this goes for anybody in any job, really, if you're the employee or the boss anyway. Like, you need to have enough respect for yourself and your team to just leave when you know it's time to leave.
Exactly.
Because that's going to make it a way better environment for everybody.
It's noticeable. Like, when people hate their jobs,
Yeah,
it's
people
so
hate their
noticeable.
job. It's so, yeah, it's just like when we were in school, right? And we see teachers that hate their job, and we see it, and then we hate the class, and we don't like the teacher. It's most likely because they don't like their job, and we can see right through them.
Yeah.
And it's making the class miserable. So if any of you are like in college too, if you're still in college, you know what I'm talking about too. When you experience a teacher who just really shouldn't be teaching anymore, or maybe they need to take like a long ass vacation because you can tell. It's just a matter of having respect for everyone around you and giving yourself happiness. And that's the big solution, honestly, to all of this, and to making sure that no one's, you know, of course everyone has their opinions, but like I said, please throw out the word bitchy. Like, just stop. Because immediately you think of a woman, unfortunately, when you say bitchy. You don't think of a man being bitchy.
Never. Exactly.
It's always woman. Just throw the word out completely. If you're seeing bad leadership, it's bad leadership. Doesn't matter the gender. Because we are associating it. And actually, there's another study that I saw. So it says that some Dartmouth MBA students did a survey of if they would prefer a male or female manager, and 90% of the women preferred a male as a manager.
Wait, say that again?
90% of the women preferred a male manager.
That's weird.
In this survey. Yeah. So even the women,
I feel like,
preferred
a man. That's what I'm saying. We have to have each other's backs.
Exactly. It's just like, no.
Yeah.
No. And maybe it comes from, oh, well, they're acting like a mom. Like, moms act a certain way and protective and bossy, whatever. But no. There has to be a cultural shift happening.
Yeah.
There has to be a cultural shift, because the lingo that we use affects the younger ones too, obviously. The younger minds of the world, the younger generations, their minds they're being molded each time someone says something. So we need to eliminate the word completely for, honestly, like a better perception of leadership and just recognizing respect for women. One, just recognizing bad leadership when we see it, and not seeing the gender associated.
Yeah, let's start learning when a woman is being a boss, and not categorizing that as being bitchy, because that's not what's happening. Yeah. She's being a leader, and she's doing the job that she was given, and that's it. Like, it is what it is.
Period. Period, guys.
Yeah.
Ow, my knee. Oh, God. So yeah, that's what we wanted to bring to the table today, this fine Wednesday morning when you listen to this. We just wanted to spark this conversation because, as I said, Alex and I have totally can relate to this, like working with a bunch of males, majority males in the workplace, and, you know, being seen a certain way just because we have maybe, you know, constructive criticism or something, and it's like someone might take that offensive, which we even talked about in another episode. So we need to bring the conversation to the table, because all the women who want to be leaders and who are too afraid
to speak your mind, go for it, to lead.
I say go for it, because people are gonna not like you regardless. Even if you're doing your job perfectly, people are gonna dislike you for no reason. because they're
Yeah.
unhappy.
Right.
Or because they just don't like you. I don't know. You can
Mm-hmm.
do absolutely nothing wrong, be the most perfect human being, the most perfect leader. You're going to have someone not like you.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way the world works, honey.
Yeah.
So if you want a leadership position, you go for it, girl. You go, girl.
Absolutely.
And if you're a dude too, and you went, even if a guy is afraid to be a leader because he's doesn't want to be seen as a prick, I don't know. It's not as big as a problem for males, unfortunately.
I
But
don't think it's a problem.
but
If it is, I
but go
guess.
for it anyways. But mainly talking
Yeah.
to the women here, go for it and don't stop being afraid. Stop
Mm-hmm.
being afraid of other people's perceptions of you, because as long as you do your job and do, take our suggestions on what you should check yourself on, you'll be fine. You'll
Yeah.
be fine.
He'll be fine.
And if the team wants to gossip, and you're doing your job right, just worry about you and making sure that the stuff gets done.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, just move on from there, but check yourself first. um so yeah, I think it's an important conversation,
For
and
sure.
especially, and you have a daughter, Alex, so like,
Yeah.
it's really important to talk to her about this stuff, I would think, like, to
Yeah.
make sure she's inspired by seeing other leaders, other women as leaders. I
Mm-hmm.
love seeing women leaders. Oh my god, it
Yeah.
inspires me so much.
Yeah.
It's so
And
important at any
I,
age.
yeah, it really is. And I, how do I say? Like, I think it honestly, it also I feel like this issue also stems from like early childhood.
Hmm.
When girls are in the playground and they're
Oh
playing and
yeah.
they're trying to direct whatever game, then
Hmm.
they're being too bossy.
Oh, yeah, it does start from that
It
early. It's really
does. It
messed up.
does.
It
It
is
it
so
really
messed up.
does. I remember people calling me bossy or things like
Mm,
that, and then little girls are afraid to like use their voices. Like
express
they
their
become
opinions.
quiet. They don't want to express their opinions. They don't want to be
For
seen as
sure.
bossy.
I'm sure it
I
happened to me too when I was little.
Yeah.
It's so shitty.
I know I don't want to instill that in my daughter. Like I know it's important for
Yeah.
her to not just to be a woman. I feel like this day and age it means, yeah, you are sensitive, you are empathetic, you are, you know, friendly maybe, or
Mhm.
how do I say it, but um I think it's also important to like teach our girls that being a woman also means being a leader. It also means being quote
Mhm.
unquote bossy, and that's okay. Like the best
Mhm.
leaders are somewhat bossy. Like that's what they have to be. That's how you become
Mhm.
a decisive
Yeah, like,
individual.
don't
That's
make it a
how,
negative thing. Put bossy in, like, "Hey, bossy," like, you're being a boss. You are a
right.
boss. You are a
Right.
leader.
You're a leader. That's how you build confidence in little girls. So I think
Yes.
starts early. Don't I
Super early.
I
I
hope
know I
I
lost my voice for a while, like,
yeah.
I was scared to express
Mhm.
my real self, and I'm getting out of that, like,
Mhm.
I got out of that, but yeah, it totally can stunt someone's growth
Mhm.
and their confidence in what they think they can do,
Mhm. Totally.
and it has a lot to do with just not really caring what other people think and just making
Mhm.
sure you're being the best person you can be.
Mhm.
And that will naturally, if you're around the right people, rub off on other people, and it'll be a positive environment for you.
Yeah.
If you're lifting other people up, it'll mostly only reward you. Like, the universe rewards positivity and optimism. So that's just what we need to keep in mind for a woman of any age, because a woman
Mhm.
of any age I know is
Yeah.
intimidated
The environment
and can be
also will
intimidated.
also give to people who are confident. So
Yes. Know
be
your values and,
confident,
like, know
know your
your worth.
values, know your voice, have, let your voice be heard. I hope I
Mm-hmm.
never accidentally slip up, and I mean I'm human.
Yeah.
So parents make mistakes. I hope I never accidentally slip up and call my little girl bossy or too sensitive. Those aren't
Yeah.
the words I want to use with her. Like
No.
be
Lingo is so
sensitive,
important
be
for young
bossy,
girls.
be
Yeah.
everything you want to be, and I
Yes.
got your back. That's just how we have to be with one another.
Yeah, support and us
Hmm.
ladies, because double standards, yo.
Yeah, they're
We can
real.
relate to each other out of anybody, so we gotta have each other's back. And this bull about 90% of women only preferring a male leader, I mean, that, come on.
Yeah.
Like, that's gotta stop. Like, women have gotta support women. Like, we can't
And
be doing this to each other.
right, and they say like the reason why they want a man is because it's quote unquote less drama. So now you're dramatic because you're a female, because you have so many different emotions, and it's fucked up.
And I saw this tweet, actually. I saw this tweet earlier, and it was like, uh, when you want to be friends with guys because there's less drama or whatever. It was like a stupid TikTok. And I was like, honestly, I used to, when I was younger, I used to think that. I used to think, oh, well, guys have less drama. I used to have that mindset too, because a lot of people do, right? I was like, oh, I'm friends with guys because whatever. No, dude, guys are so much into drama. Like the guys that I've seen and been around, they actually gossip a lot, way more than my female friends. So no, that is not true, by the way. It's not true that girls gossip and are like into drama way more. There was even people in the comments that were like guys, they were like, no, this is not true.
It's not
like
true.
We gossip all the time.
Yeah, guys do gossip, and guys love gossip. Like if I have like a situation that happened and I know some information, my husband is on my ass. Like he wants to know the deets. He wants to know the juice.
Yeah, so like we need to stop that too. And yeah, of course, I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of thinking dudes were into less drama. Of course, when I grew up, I was like, okay, this is completely stupid. Like that I thought this.
Right.
But it's something that we tell ourselves for some reason, and that the culture created this false idea that men are less dramatic. Totally wrong. So it all starts with that.
9 times out of 10, like it's a man who created the drama and girls are just reacting to it.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I know of guys who, oh, it's so cringy. It is so cringy. They rate other people, like their bodies and shit.
Yeah.
Like they'll do like, oh, well, she's a whatever.
Yeah.
She's like a 5 in the ass and like a 2 in the face or whatever. I'm like, oh
yeah.
my God. That's also just bull. Like, come on. You're acting like a little child.
A child.
It's childish shit. So yeah, totally
also,
wrong.
If I ever hear a guy doing that, I will rate them right to their face back. Like, okay,
God.
Your personality is a solid 0, and
got him.
Yeah, so is your style.
Fucking roasted. Oh my God. Oh, that is so funny. But yeah. So guys, that's just a note that we wanted to leave on, because it's just important that we talk about this. That equality of boys and girls is really
support
important.
Your female bosses, and if it's truly something genuine that you feel like they're not doing, like as a leader, don't be afraid to speak on it, but don't talk shitty behind their back, because we need to really support our female leaders, especially as women.
Yeah, and they're gonna find out. Like if you're trying to be secretive about it, they're gonna find out.
Support.
I'm pretty sure.
Just support, man.
Show each other support. And again, if you hate your job, you're making everyone else miserable, please leave the job. I know it's easier said than done, but you have one life, and if you are miserable at your job, it's just time to look for another one, or it's just time to move industries, move careers. It's just time.
Yeah.
Because you want to be happy, don't you? Like, don't you want to be happy? Like, everyone wants to be happy. And you're not getting any closer to happiness by making the people around you miserable if you're not happy.
So true.
So I think that's like a main point we all have to think about. Everybody. You know, every single person on this earth needs to work towards just their own general happiness and health. And that'll make the world better. Period. So we're leaving off on that. I don't think today we had a food for thought.
We don't have food for thought. Not today. This was a lengthy episode. But if you have a food for thought in mind that you want to drop into our DMs, feel free to do that. And I do mean our DMs, because we are officially on Instagram, finally.
Oh my God, how exciting. I can tag the account now.
Tag the account. Okay.
Oh my God, how
Follow
exciting.
us. Be our friends. We have 0 friends right now, minus ourselves. It is the Gspot_podcast.
Oh my God, how exciting.
I'm super excited. So this is our Instagram. It'll be followed by a Facebook, eventually a TikTok, eventually YouTube channel.
Oh yes, we are growing.
We're growing. We're excited about it. I appreciate everybody who is on this journey with us.
Yes, thank you so much for listening, guys, too. And I see some of y'all, like, y'all in the UK, bro? Are you kidding me? Hello. Hi.
Super dope.
How are you? No, but honestly, anyone who's listening right now, like, thank you so much. I know we kind of just started this journey and we're going with the
still working through
flow.
stuff, and
Yeah, we're working through stuff and
hopefully hopefully you find us entertaining, and hopefully you find us helpful as you navigate through your life. Appreciate the
we're all
listen.
just navigating together, vibing and navigating together.
Totally.
So yeah, we hope you have a great Wednesday. Again, follow us on socials. I'll also leave in the description the G Spot socials, and in my socials and Alex's socials. Just follow everything.
All the socials
Follow
everywhere.
everything. So yes, have a good Wednesday, guys. Have a good day, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.